I finally watched that, by the way.
Which one?
I know that voice.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
I wanted more of the voices, though. I don't really care about the people who do them.
But it's fun to see them, isn't it?
It is.
And they are a hoot.
I finally got to see Andrea Romano, and she's one of my heroes because she did all the casting for the DCAU, 90% of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she always seems to find one voice that she does like at line or three.
Oh, cool.
The art, by the way, to voice work is, can you do the voice like Porky Pig, right, Bugs Bunny, and read Shakespeare? That was I about fell over dead. I couldn't tell anymore when they were riffing or when they were reading Shakespeare. So anyway, that being said,
on 8 out of 10 Cats, they did one. Yeah. There was a boxer in the UK. Oh shoot, I can't remember his name, but he had a very high voice and a pronounced lisp. And one of the characters on 8 out of 10 Cats, one of the comedians says, "Everything sounds better when using this man's voice to read classical literature." I want to tell you,
right, wasn't he?
My agent and everybody else on the show has said this is career suicide. Here we go. It was the best of time. It was the worst of time.
And you got to pick the right Shakespeare to do it.
It was hilarious.
So if you want to see I Know That Voice, it's on Prime. If you want to see us, you go to This Is True Really News, and here we are. And then you hit like, and you subscribe, and you follow us, because all of those things make their little algorithms. I don't know what, there's some kind of mystical math thing.
They get fizzy.
And it makes us wonderful.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't actually make us wonderful.
No.
They think we're wonderful.
Yes.
So please like, subscribe, and follow. That'd be a big deal. If you have a comment, you can leave it right where you find us, or your question, comment, conundrum, or snark, or story you'd like to share can be sent to us at titr@netradio.network. Be careful, though, because Scott is the one who handles that, and you never know what he'll do with them.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
From interestingfacts.com. And this is an odd one. It's sort of a dichotomy.
No, wait. This is my shocked face.
From interestingfacts.com.
What's the name of the show, Marty? Do you remember? This is True, Really. Yeah, okay. And an odd story. Yeah, I know. I'm surprised.
What's odd about it is...
What? God, even the zebra's not happy with you.
But the question was...
The seals just turned the other way.
This is from Interesting Facts on This Is True, Really News. And the question is, what's the most boring day in history?
Oh. I'm going to go with...
June 18th.
No, that's one of the grandest days in all of history.
That is true. It is.
Paul McCartney and other people were born on it.
Yes.
The most boring day would quite possibly be March 17th.
What year?
I don't care. Every year.
Every year.
You're stuck in what feels like winter. You want spring, and there you are.
It's my dad's birthday, you loser.
Is it really?
No.
Oh. Well, you would lie about your dead dad's birthday.
Yes, I would. Well, what's he going to do? Get up and swat me?
He'll haunt you for the rest of your days.
Well, like he's already doing that. I was going to say,
never mind.
Every now and again, he comes out of my mouth.
Hang on. November 3rd. No, that could be election day. Those are never boring. They're just bad.
Yep.
I give up, Scott. What day was the most boring day in all of history?
April 11th, 1954.
Well, of course, we weren't here yet. That would explain a lot.
This computer program named True Knowledge contained 300 million facts, many of them tied to dates. After scouring those facts, now this was back in 2010, right? So they should probably do this again. But after scouring those facts and comparing them to their respective dates, True Knowledge decided on April 11th, 1954, most boring day of the 20th century.
Okay.
You ready for what happened?
Probably not.
Belgium held a general election.
Can't argue that.
All 27,000 people voted.
Way to go, Belgium.
Some sports events happened.
They always do.
A coup in India was possibly planned, but not carried out until 2 days later.
Hey, it's a big, hot country. It takes a minute.
Yeah, it's sort of like, oh, it's too hot today.
What do you think? Should we do it today? No, let's wait till tomorrow. How about Wednesday? Wednesday would be better.
Can you give me some of that Skittle, bro? Don't you?
Keep going. We'll be here all day.
Okay. No notable births or deaths occurred, at least as far as the computer program could figure out. More importantly,
so for all of you born in 1954 on April, what was it?
April 11th.
On April 11th, we apologize for the rudeness of this AI.
Right? Boredom, however, is under threat.
Uh-oh.
Billions of smartphones bringing nearly limitless distraction to us worldwide. But while boredom may be uncomfortable, it can also be really good for our brains, a little downtime. And it often results in thinking about the future, or it spurs creativity as well as altruism. And I'm so bored, I need to do something for somebody else, or I'm just going to lose it. That kind of thing. So
no.
Yeah. Have you ever been so bored you had to get up and do something?
Raising a generation of screen monkeys.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
So yes, there could be many boring days ahead. Keith Wood is a PhD. That means he's a doctor, but not that kind of doctor.
Oh.
He spent I love how they say that. You're a doctor? Not that kind of doctor.
You don't know.
Really? I thought you might be a PhD in physicism. Oh, well.
Physicism?
Physicism. It's like being a physicist, but you study the physicism. Keith Wood's PhD, he did pharmacological.
Oh.
I changed it from pharmaceutical because I thought pharmacological would be more fun to say.
It's pharmacological.
He did pharmaceutical research in molecular and chemical biology.
Oh, I thought he did pictures.
Using his work with bioluminescence.
Ooh.
To understand how molecules interacted with diseases. It's been a long day.
Apparently.
It's not even noon. His work started as a graduate student when the team he was on inserted a firefly gene into a tobacco plant and came up with Nathan Fillion. It was.
I see how you got there.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. It was a small. It was either that or Gina Torres, but I like Gina, so I like Nathan.
I like Nathan.
It was a small plant, couldn't sustain light without the addition of a substrate. Because a sub-full house just wouldn't do. It wasn't something a consumer could buy, but it was good for understanding pathways within the organism. So PhD boy, about 40 years after that first plant now, Wood and his company and Ketchum Light Bio are marketing a garden petunia. Wasn't that Porky Pig's girl?
Yeah, Petunia. Petunia.
They now have a petunia that glows in the dark.
Who gives a crap?
Well, I'm guessing the petunias.
Or people looking for them.
Wood said people, yeah, because if you misplace a petunia, you might as well just turn off the lights and look. Petunia, Wood said people don't think about science as just bringing joy to our lives. We thought we'd do something really special here.
We're hunting petunias.
Wabbit season, duck season, wabbit season.
Petunia season.
The petunia with bright white flowers looks like something you'd buy in spring at a garden nursery. But when the lights are turned out, the petals slowly start glowing up with a greenish white glow. Something out of a bad 50s science fiction film. I've seen pictures. I'm serious. The plant is always glowing. It's just our eyes need to adjust to see the light, of course. The newest buds are the brightest and punctuate the glowing flowers. Yeah, that's why we call it the firefly petunia, because Nathan Fillion petunia was already taken.
That's right.
Oh, serenity. Because these bright buds resemble fire. See, what they should have done is called it the serenity petunia. That would have been cooler.
See, and it would have been more clever.
Yep, because these bright buds resemble fireflies sitting on top of a plant. That went well. And despite its name, this plant doesn't have any firefly genes.
Rather, it has, try the stretch slacks.
Rather, it has 4 genes from a bioluminescent mushroom and a 5th from a bioluminescent fungus. Fungi?
What? Mushroom's a fungus.
Yeah.
So from several funguses.
The gene was functional, but it didn't connect seamlessly into the natural metabolic processes, Wood said. Duh! It took about 10 years to go. It took about 10 years to go from development to approval by the USDA. Wow, the Department of Agriculture is okay. Plants went on sale online in February. Anybody got any? Has anyone got them? Seen them?
I never heard of them.
Are there any gardeners out there who got up one morning and said, "By God, Martha, if we had them there glowing petunias, our garden would be complete"?
Said no gardener ever.
Ever. The executive director of the National Garden Bureau, I didn't even know there was one, Diane Blazek, says the customers are always looking for the next new plant, and petunias are a guaranteed bestseller. She doesn't think that the fact that it's genetically modified will affect customers buying it because there's a precedent. 7 years ago, an orange petunia modified with a maize gene showed up in gardens and nurseries in Europe and the U.S. The plant was never supposed to leave a closed lab, but somehow ended up in lots of gardens and began eating everyone. Ooh. Several cities have been decimated.
The petunia that ate Poughkeepsie.
It took the Jersey Turnpike.
It's coming down your street.
Eventually, regulators asked everyone to please destroy those plants and those seeds. The overwhelming response was no.
Right. Everyone said, it's mine. Shut up.
This is a classic response. No, it's a petunia. We're not eating it. So who cares? I mean, the orange... That's what they said about nuclear power, too. Hey,
isn't that all right?
Actually, and they got better with that. Petunias, still can't eat them. The orange gene came from the maize. Why? Why can't we plant this? Because it's just not right.
Well, then move it over to the left a little.
Chris Bates at Ball Publishing, who oversees several horticulture publications, so he's a shill. Not that kind of whore. You don't know her.
Okay.
Said the firefly petunia could open up gardening to new customers. How? He said, wondering.
Only if you plant me under it, if you catch my drift.
Only if you can find a way to make it look like a regular petunia and squirt water in someone's face when they sniff it. That's
then I'm happy.
The firefly petunia may not have practical implications for things like drug advances or crop production, but for wood, this petunia is transcendent.
Yeah.
He's got a PhD. He should know what words mean.
He doesn't seem to know.
Yeah, not a clue. Said there's something magical about seeing this living presence, this glowing vitality coming from a living plant that you sliced, diced, and basically remade.
Yes. Do you suppose that guy ever shuts up?
No. That's why he works with petunias. Why do you think they glow? Do you think it's because all the gene work they've done? Possibly. I'm going with the fact that they were just that's how angry they are.
Exactly.
You know, people turn bright red when they get mad?
Yep.
Petunias glow green. What can I say?
This from Jessica Thompson, who asks the appropriate question.
Jessica.
Why?
We don't know.
Speaking of snacks, Pringles has teamed up with Crocs for the ultimate snacking accessory. Oh my
Pringle
God.
Crocs?
Are you? Yes. Are you sitting down?
Pringle Crocs.
An ankle holster for your potato chips. Here's why it matters.
Do you remember in grade school and middle school when they told you there are no dumb ideas?
Yeah. They were wrong.
They were wrong. Wrong right to the core.
The global market for snack foods exploded during the pandemic and continues to grow, except for the fact that people on diets aren't eating as many snacks as we found out earlier from the last This Is True Really News mailbag. So food manufacturers are getting creative with tasty and Instagrammable novelties. Driving the news, the Pringles X Crocs.
The chauffeur. Oh, sorry.
Oh, the Pringles Crocs collaboration dropped a set of limited time products, including $100 boots in both men's and women's sizes. Those classic Crush boots come with a mini can of a new Pringles flavor called Croc Tail Party.
Foot odor.
Which the company describes as
foot odor. Tastes like dirty feet.
Watermelon chili lime. You may be close.
Pretty close. Well, that's watermelon chili lime.
Yeah. Other products.
Something I'd avoid like the frickin' plague.
In the shoe line, $70 classic clogs and $50 classic slides that come with charms called gibbets that can be plugged into holes on top of the shoes. Shapes include a miniature can of Pringles. Alas, if you're reading or hearing about this now, you're probably too late. They're sold out.
Thank God.
Except for the Crocktail Party chips.
They're sold.
And I've seen those things you stick in Crocs. You can stick things that look like your toes sticking up through the holes.
Yeah.
Our keyboard player constantly wears Crocs. And I was thinking it'd be really nice to get him. They've got some that have headlights.
Yeah.
And they have little batteries, so they work. I was thinking of getting him some of those.
Nope, still doesn't make them cool.
He can wear those at the show.
That'd be okay. If you've just got bitten by a snake, it's understandable. You might panic a bit. After all, unless you regularly work with them, you may have no idea if the snake is venomous or not.
Correct.
Unless you're in Australia, where they have nothing but people and snakes.
And it won't matter because you're going to die in a couple of seconds anyway.
I was going to say, if you get bit by most of the venomous snakes in Australia, just count to 5 and you won't get there.
Yeah.
Although the number of venomous animals on the island, is it really an island? I thought Australia was like its own continent or something.
I think it is.
What is it? It's Oceania now. I don't know what that means.
No, Oceania covers a lot of the Pacific.
Oh, all right. Although the water is so confusing to me. Although the number of venomous animals on the island is somewhat exaggerated. Well, yeah, because it's funnier that way. They still have plenty of snakes perfectly capable of killing you. And Australian doctors are now pleading that people please calm down. And do not do the one very stupid thing that is becoming a real problem in Australia. When you come to the doctor suspecting you've been bitten by a poisonous snake, the one thing they would truly like you not to do is bring the snake with you. Now, if you think about it for a minute, that's actually sound reasoning.
Yeah.
They're thinking that if they have the offending snake available, it will help doctors administer the right kind of antidote if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But health authorities say that the only thing you're doing is risking a potentially venomous snake running amok in a hospital.
Oh, they're bringing them in live.
Oh, yeah.
Idiots. Kill the darn thing and drag it in.
No, you don't kill. It's a snake.
Yes, you do. It's trying to kill you.
You don't know, but that's what snakes, it's just doing what it does.
You get to kill them right back.
It's somebody tries to kill you, you kill them right back. On the surface, it might seem, what was that from?
Firefly.
Thank you.
For the third or fourth reference this week.
Yep. The show. On the surface, it might seem logical to bring the snake with you to the hospital after it's bitten you. I can't understand why. If it's bitten me, I'm shaking it off, throwing it as far as I can, and going to the hospital. But that's just me. After all, you're supposed to bring the packaging of any poison.
Packaging?
You're supposed to bring the packaging of anything poisonous that you may have ingested to the emergency room. So would it make sense to bring the snake?
But bring it dead. Bring the dead snake.
There are 3 issues of bringing the snake with you.
Okay.
One is obvious. You risk getting bitten again.
Not if it's dead.
Now, being as you're not that bright, on to number 2. Snakes don't really want to bite you unless it's in self-defense, and you can probably see how trying to grab it could piss off the snake, since it's already bitten you once.
Yeah, but if it's dead, you can grab it all you want.
Even if Snaky Boy is the most venomous in the world, it may not have injected any venom when it bit you. See, producing the venom takes a bunch of snake energy.
Yep.
So to avoid wasting it, sometimes they just bite you.
Say, get away from me.
Back off, dude, or next time I will put the work in. But if you keep messing with that snake, it will decide you are an actual threat. So the next time it bites you, it's going to go, okay,
you get everything.
Messing around here. It's you or me.
It's first-class treatment all the way.
Said Dr. Michael, we honestly don't want people interacting with snakes any more than they already have. They've been bitten once. Second problem is that you're probably not an experienced snake handler. Well, being as you've been bitten.
Yeah, you didn't handle that well.
Or do you know, in fact, how to transport a dangerous snake?
Dead.
A dangerous, angry snake.
Dead.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just
if you
kill
don't,
it.
then you probably shouldn't grab it because whatever transport solution you use will probably fail. In Australia, the emergency room folks have seen snakes in everything from food containers to plain plastic shopping bags. You know, the ones that you save for garbage, but you have to check and make sure they weren't torn.
Yeah, right.
Because those big, nasty containers you put in it might tear it. What do you think a thing with? No. Anyway.
I keep seeing that video of a gal. I think it's in Australia. She's sitting on a grassy area that slopes down to what's either a pond or a river. And if it's a river, it's very slow moving. And all of a sudden rears up about 3 feet off the ground, some snake, and it's coming at her like it's trying to win a sprint race. She has just enough time to get up and grab it by the throat before it gets to her. Then she spins around and flings it back into the water. I can only imagine the snake going, well, crap, that didn't work out at all as I thought.
You know, I saw this in my head. I visualized this. It
did not work.
Going back to the golf course, the fat guys are slower. And there is a third issue. That fact that you're taking the snake to the hospital is the snake in the hospital, besides doing possible damage, it's pointless, dude.
Why?
What do you expect the doctors to do with the snake? They're doctors.
Well, entertain it a little bit. You know, get it a little ice cream.
Probably what got the bozo bit in the first place. Dr. Michael admitted we're not actually trained to identify snakes, so it's not helpful.
Well, now that's the first thing you said that I buy.
They probably won't know anything more about the snake than you do. All they can do is look at the snake and go, that's a snake.
Well, you know one more thing than the doctor.
Look at that. We could be doctors in Australia.
You know how it feels when that snake bites you.
Oh, and if you're wondering, doctors really don't need to see the snake to give you the right antidote. Even if you tell them for certain which snake bit you, the doctors will still run tests to determine the type of venom, if any, was injected.
Just in case you misidentified her. Yep.
What should you do? Since we have, a couple of dozen venomous snakes in the U.S.
Okay.
According to Dr. Michael, it's really important not to wash the bite site. Doing so can allow the venom remaining on your skin to be washed into your bloodstream. That we don't want.
No.
While the CDC does recommend washing the wound so the injury is out on this point. The jury is out on this point. Don't put in near there. Honestly, I'm going to go with Dr. Michael because I don't think the CDC knows a thing about what they talk about.
Most of the time.
See COVID. In any case, you should, one, keep calm. It might be hard if you're scared of venom, but panicking will do what?
Make your heart beat faster.
Which moves the blood through you quicker.
Yeah, and how am I not going to panic when I get bit by a snake that I think might be venomous?
So what you do is you take a moment, calm down, get to the hospital alone or with a driver.
Oh, there we go.
Don't bring a snake. Even if the snake says, I can drive, don't
believe him.
Bring him. Snakes are notorious liars. Genesis 3.
Yeah. Thus ends the reading of Scripture for today.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.